Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Zador. How are you, sir?
I'm well, sir. Sun's out. You got to be good, better too.
What time did I get home last night? Just
Very
take a
late.
guess.
Very late.
It was 10:04
yeah.
before I walked in my front door.
You got like really bright halogen headlights on the front of those mowers? Well,
No.
that's a fair question. I
It
I
is a
thought,
very good
you're
question,
Cutting
but-
at night, you don't want to just be like you couldn't cut mine at night because you could just end up down in the river.
Well, I was at the river. I was on the other side of 62 from where y'all are. I was down, Ryan Mallett had a house down on the river.
Yeah.
And we were mowing it last night, and oh my gosh. I finally said, nope, I'm done.
Well, yeah.
I can't see anything else. I'm done. Yeah, by the time we loaded up and got back into town, it was,
Sure.
dropped all the folks off. It was 10 o'clock before I got home.
There we go. That was done yesterday. It looks great, but it's starting to grow already with all the rain and everything. So if we get sun for a couple of days, it'll
My
blow
wife
back up.
finally got the garden in last week.
Yeah, Linda's working on that today.
Which is good.
Trying to get stuff sitting there, and it's like with the rain and just the times of the rain
Yeah,
have been bad.
it
It's
is.
not just that it's so moist; it's just the timing hasn't been real good.
How's the real estate business?
We've been moving forward. You know, I'd like it to be a little busier, but not. You know, I don't like it when it's real nutsy either. So there's a balance in there.
Nutsy is that?
Nutsy is like when you're just going and chasing and trying to get 30 things done at once.
Right.
So knock things off one at a time. Stay focused on what you're doing, and
Be the best of what you got.
exactly that's what we do. So
Interest rates, what are they doing right now?
interest rates are all over 7. I think that the 15s are like 6.8 or something, the 15-year, but everything else is up in the 7s. It's just a tough time.
Yeah.
And the economy's not doing what they wanted it to do, what they wanted to do with the interest rates changing, and they're kind of befuddled. Their monetary policy didn't work the way they thought it would. This inflation was just going to be a passing phase.
Yeah.
No, you can't just keep printing money and spending money on things that aren't good. It's just, just
there's-
bad policy.
There's a lot of talk of people wanting, well, I'm just going to wait for the rates to come down.
Yes.
Well, when the rates come down, the prices will come down.
Oh, they're gonna go
I
nuts.
don't think
There's
that's
a
the
l-
case.
There's a lot of pent-up people waiting to buy houses. And if they're waiting for the rates to come down, those houses are going to be gone. Because it's all supply and demand. That's why the prices have held up as it is. The G thought that by raising the interest rates that they would force the prices down. But there's so many people want them that the prices are staying where they are.
Right. It just didn't happen.
Yeah. And if the rates go down, there'll be more demand. And what'll that do? That'll force that just where we are now. It'll force the prices up again.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of frothy price-wise, but you look at other markets and we're not. And then you look at other markets where they've taken 20% hits on the prices because they got. But when you do this, you're going to do this. We kind of have a tendency to kind of roll a little bit more. We're more of a wave than a.
If the Mendoza line is here and you get this big spike and then you lose 20% of that spike, you're still ahead of the game.
Oh yeah, but you feel that hit feels worse than it is. Oh, I could have got.
Even if it
That's
was
what
a
it
real
is.
hit.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's what the other thing. I mean, if you're living in your house, and most people buy their house as an investment, but they buy it, that's where they live, So it doesn't really matter to you what the rates are doing or anything else. You were able to buy the house at that time. You're still able to do that. You're still able to feed your family. You're able to live your life, go to concerts in the park, go to St. Peter's tomorrow for breakfast. If you can do those kind of things, it doesn't affect the average person. What does affect them, though, is that constant drumbeat of things being bad, especially going into these political years. These presidential years are the worst for that reason, because all the commercials, and we're not going to be too bad because neither one is going to spend a lot of money here in Arkansas.
Right.
And I don't think even southern Missouri. They may spend some in northern Missouri, but they're not going to spend a lot in southern Missouri because that's pretty well cast which way that part of the state is going to go. We know which way Arkansas is going to go. And no reason to spend money here. You're going to spend it in Colorado, Arizona, South Carolina, places like that, Michigan, Wisconsin. those states, that drum is going to be beating, and I'm sure it's beating already all day.
About how bad
he's an
things
idiot.
are.
He's an idiot. Everything is bad. Everything is this. Everything is bad. I can make it better. I can make it better.
Yeah, you got one side telling you how good he's made it, and the other side telling you how bad he's made it. So,
Exactly. Right.
flip
right.
a coin and just go with that.
And that drumbeat of that, it affects people. And you can see that every 4 years, you see that fall off because everybody just says, we ain't doing nothing. We're just going to stay here, and we're going to wait and see what happens. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really affect Joe Citizen one way or the other.
Right.
It doesn't make, I mean, it affects you in your, inflation has affected everybody a lot more than the interest rates or anything else. I mean, that's really that's where you notice it. That's the pocketbook issue where people see, where's their money? You know, I used to be able to go here and get this bag of groceries for $30, and now it's $45. You notice that, you know, and gas prices have been high, and it's, you know, Clinton's old guy, you know, came in and wrote on the grease board, "It's the economy, stupid," and that's really what it's all about. That's what affects the average American.
But now it's just the stupid economy.
yeah. So those are the kind of things that, you know, when we talk to people and they're trying to figure out what can we do and how should we do it, those are the things that really do affect people directly. The interest rates are going to, I think that you're right, that we're kind of going to get used to that. And I don't think it's going to stay. Eventually they're going to drop it down, but, you know, we're going to have 4 rate reductions. Well, that's for the prime rate. That's not for mortgage rates. The prime rates, your credit cards, loans, RV loans, things like all those types of things. We're based more on the 10-year bonds.
The T-bill.
And those have been high because there's opportunity, you know.
What demographic is having the hardest time with the increase in price, increase with...
The kids. The first-time home buyers are just getting crushed right now. I mean, because they can't save enough money for a down payment because they're paying so much in rent. The rents are so high because, again, it's supply and demand. And if you can't save up a little money to put a decent down payment down, you're out of the box. And they're competing against people coming from other states that have sold their homes that are coming in and going to pay cash. So you go even pre-approved, and they've got good credit and everything else, but here's a guy coming in from Cleveland who's going to put, you know, 50% down and just going to take a little mortgage out. The seller, he's, well, okay, I'll take that one. You know, because that's part of the thing, and that's one of the things we see sometimes with VA loans, where there's things that have to be done for a VA loan to go through, and you got a choice of, okay, I got to do this, this, and this, whereas I may still have to do the same things, but I don't have to do them. I can pay for that. I could just take that out of closing and let the new buyer, let him correct the things that he wants to correct. You can't do that with the VA loan. You can't give credits.
They have to be finished.
It's got to be finished.
Right.
So these are all things that come into play during, you know, when you're trying to negotiate and when you're trying to figure what's the best deal for everybody. What's the best deal for the seller? What's the best deal for the buyer? That's what we do. That is truly, when we talk about spending the day, Linda's on the phone talking to somebody constantly, trying to get something tweaked with this one, something tweaked with that one. We got a buyer who's looking to do this. Is he a veteran? No, he's going to come in and pay cash. He says he's going to pay cash. Well, where's his pre-approval letter? Can he show proof of funds? Because you can say, well, I'm going to pay cash. Show me. Because selling your bonds and your stocks, excuse me, the allergens are in the air. Selling your bonds and stocks, that's not a cash deal. Because as soon as you go to your broker and say, well, I want to sell these stocks because I'm going to buy a house, he's going to say, no, it's a terrible idea. You're already making a lot of money right here. You shouldn't do that. You should get a mortgage. And don't take my commissions away, but you should get a mortgage and do it that way. Well, now you're 2 weeks out, and it takes 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get a mortgage. Well, you told those people you're going to close on this date. They've got trucks coming. We were talking to an agent the other day. They've literally, trucks are because sometimes these trucks come from other places, and they'll have like a half a load that they're going from one place to come here to pick up, fill the other half, and then go to Cleveland. And they're all set up to go, and the buyers, I need another 25 days. What? And people they don't always think things through. But that's good agency. You work with people, you stay on top of them, and sometimes you can be a little pushy with that, making sure. I was out with a couple the other day, and they were kind of cagey about money. Well, I'm going to sell my house, and I've got it's under contract. Oh, really? What's your address? Because I'm going to look it up in Realtor. I'm going to see what the status is. And well, it's over by in some other state. And well, we really don't have to come. We can go someplace else, and just weren't really saying things that were making me real glowy about them. And I ended up with them yesterday saying, "Look, I don't think this is going to work. You need this. The things that we talked about are the things you need to do to buy a house. You can do it with me. You can do it with somebody else, but you're not going to get a house without doing the things that I've told you need to do. And enjoy your summer." So,
Oops.
I'm better off.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Let's look at some numbers.
This week in real estate, there were 54 new listings came on the market, 15 parcels of land, 39 homes came on the market, ranging in price from $80,000 to $929,000. 6 of those had taken backups. There were 48 sales, 4 commercial properties, 11 parcels of land, 33 homes sold. They range in price from $40,000 to $800,000. Average sale price this week was $238,000 with 95 days on market. 10 properties expired. There were 29 residential price changes, and I'm going to tell you none of those were price increases. There were 48 residential. There's 48 residential pending, waiting to close, and that's been dropping a little bit. We're starting to work our way through some of them. Currently, there's 301 homes listed on the MLS that you can just walk in and buy. They're not encumbered, they're not pending or anything like that where they're waiting any contingencies. Year to date, for 2024, there's been 315 homes have sold for $74 million. The average sale price this year is $237 with $237,000. That'd probably be better.
I'll take 5.
Yeah. $237,000 with 91 days on market. Last year, there have been 318 homes that sold with an average sale price of $222 with 92 days on market. So the numbers the volume is down a smidge, not much, but the price is up because, again, the supply and demand and people trying to get it. People are getting more used to that 7%. I think it'll come back down into the high to mid 6s. But if people are sitting there waiting for it to get into the 5s and 4s, I mean, you'll have kids that are getting out of high school by then. Can't judge it. You got to make life decisions. You may say, fine, we'll stay where we are and we'll stay here forever. That's fine. But, moving, except people that have got to move are going to move. But nobody's going to move from Southern Meadows to Indian Creek. Before you used to see some of them. We're getting some people that are moving, they just can't keep up the ground, and they're moving in. Some of them are moving into, if not assisted living, where they can get some help a little closer. We got a guy who's moving into town just to be closer to doctors and hospitals, and he can't drive as well at night. So if he has to run to the store, little run in town with the street lights, it's better than taking those a gazillion watt light bulbs that have come out of somebody's trucks that are right at your level. And then you hit the brights at them, and then they put the brights on. It's like, holy.
How do they get you?
Call my honey. She's at 870-405-0793. Check out the website, retiredarkansas.net. Thanks to everybody who stopped by Trout Fest to say hi. We had a great time. I talked to a lot of people, and it was a good event for us. It always is. We've been going there for a lot of years, and we enjoy it.
There you go. That's been This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora. 870-405-0793 is the number. retiredarkansas.net is our website. Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team of Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. We'll be back in just a moment.